So, good morning, Simon Mills, and a quick introduction from you.
Thank you, Simon. I'm Amrit Dhaliwal, the CEO and founder of Walfinch. Walfinch is a home care operation that champions an active lifestyle.
Nice. So today we're going to talk about the prospective franchisee journey and how that might work. So I think questions for me is, gosh, there are so many home care franchises in the UK. I think 22, if not more, offering many of the same services. So what's the Walfinch difference?
That's a wonderful question. Thank you. I've been a former franchisee myself, so I think putting aside the fact that I'm not aware of any other home care franchise that is operated by a former home care franchisee. At Walfinch we have a really clear focus on championing an active lifestyle for older people. So we're all about activity, we're all about thriving. We call it time to thrive, and it's all about sort of saying, what is that active thing that we can help an older person do today? Is it getting out of bed? Is it going for a walk? What is it that we can do to really just help them keep moving and just keep active?
And surely it's just a cup of tea and a newspaper these days, isn't it, Amrit?
Well, that's a very, that is the view of care and home care, and maybe that's a state of the market, but for us it's really going beyond. It's thinking about that aspiration. If I think about my parents who are in their 70s, in 10-15 years time, if they're receiving care, they are not going to want the offering that is there right now, which is what got me thinking about this in the first place. I was thinking, well, actually, if I think about my parents, they love holidaying, they go to the gym, my dad has a whiskey every night. It's really just saying, well, how can you just carry on living in a positive and active way, something that is good for you and that allows you to continue propelling. So even our imagery is aspirational. It's saying, well, okay, great. We want to play tennis, cook, bake a cake, go while swimming. And if it's not that big, do we want to be able to get out of bed, make a coffee, read a newspaper? Because for some people, that is a huge task, and it's a huge level of activity. So it's really, asking the older people, what is it that you want to be able to do? In that frame, we've started a wellness series, and it's a tool for everyone in care, not just in Walfinch, but the whole market, to say you can tune in every other Wednesday, with your family member or as a carer with your client, and say we can do these chair yoga stretches. We've got yoga teachers, personal trainers, we've got various people that we collaborate with to produce this content so that people can follow along and say, I'm going to build my muscle strength up. And it's a really important factor, thinking about, really thinking about aging from a much earlier stage. We're very much a wellness brand for older people, but aging starts, I'm 37. Aging starts, now, right? And it starts, with thinking about, let me build my quad muscles up, because what I'm interested in later on, in my 80s, in my 90s, I want to be able to carry on going for walks. I want to be able to tie my shoelaces. I want to be able to, play with my grandchildren. And it's really thinking about that and saying, from an early stage, what can I do? From a later stage, when I'm sort of in my 80s and I haven't spent the years developing that, well, what can I do now? How can I become more active? How can I start to build muscle mass even at that stage? And so it's really thinking about it in a much more holistic way. It's not just making cups of tea and bathing. It's thinking about life.